I am the God that healeth thee. I am the Lord, your healer. I sent my word and healed your disease. I am the Lord, your healer. I am the God that healeth thee. I am the Lord, your healer. I sent my word and healed your disease. I am the Lord, your healer.
God's name is more powerful than any disease you can name tonight. You might have received a horrible report from the doctors and told you your disease is incurable. But you know what? There's hope tonight. There is hope because God's promised that He would heal us. I want you to put His word on your lips tonight. Sing His word back to Him. And see if His name isn't more powerful than cancer, than heart disease, or any disease that you can name tonight. Oh yes, He's your healer. Let's sing it to Him. You are the God that healeth me.
You are the God that healeth me. You are the Lord, my healer.
Listener, you are still tuned to Radio Maria, and coming on next we shall be bringing you Health Issues Program. Professor Otim is already here with his colleague, Dr. Katanku, to take us through this program. Professor Otim and Dr. Katanku, you are most welcome.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, Professor.
Thank you very much, Kato. Would you like to say a prayer?
Yeah, sure. Father, in the name of the Lord Jesus, we thank you so much for today. Thank you for the listeners who are tuned in right now to on Radio Maria, ready to listen to the Health Issue Program. Lord, thank you for those who are sick, that you're going to extend your healing power upon and heal them. In Jesus' name.
Amen. It is with joy that I welcome you, my brother, to this topic today. In fact, we are not topic. When you called me, I began to wonder what we shall talk about today. But then I heard Martin talking in his communication, review of the newspapers, and I heard him mention NCD. And
NCDs.
I woke up and said, hey, wait a minute. Why don't we talk about NCDs after all?
Yes.
But I am also most pleasantly surprised to find that this young man has said here, I don't know who he is, he's called Paul Kiwua, that the residents of Bumoli, where's Bumoli?
I'm not sure.
Bumoli should be in Busoga.
Well,
the village, Buswale sub-county, Namayingo district.
Busoga.
That's
right.
Busoga. Said there's the simple formula called NEEDS, that is NEEDS.
Right.
Which stands for nutrition, exercise, education,
And
drugs and self-monitoring, is the magic to his survival. You know, I was overjoyed to see it.
All right. We've talked about it several times here.
This is the very thing I worked so hard to put forward as early as 1984.
That's right.
You see, by then I was doing my PhD.
That's right.
And
yeah.
I soon realized the importance of recognizing these conditions as a conglomeration of the same thing, that is hypertension, diabetes, obesity, and cholesterol. So we called them NCDs. And then the next thing, of course, was to find out a way of communicating
That's right.
to the people what they should know about and what they should do to avoid them. And the concept of needs, although I was very key in formulating it
Yes.
was really a slow by slow contribution from all angles. What did we foresee as the most cornerstones in the care of these conditions? The common factor in these conditions is nutrition.
That's right.
It's very, very key.
That's right. Yeah.
Because you cannot be overweight or obese, for that matter, obese, unless you feed.
We had the patient we have on the ward who was scheduled for CABG surgery, and it wasn't done.
You want to tell them what CBG is?
Yes.
What is CBG?
It's coronary bypass grafting. Yeah, CBG.
Yes.
So whereby they harvest some vessels from somewhere and take them to the heart. Yeah, it was a thing which was done in Uganda by Uganda Heart Institute.
Right.
And I think so far we've done about 4 patients or more. So this particular patient, the surgery was scheduled for that day, and it wasn't done. Reason being that his RBS was very high, very high, 20. So I had to come in and do the nutrition, just as you said, it's very key.
Yes.
And now the sugar is dropping. It was 9 millimoles from 27 millimoles,
Very good.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's how important nutrition is, as you're just saying.
It is. In fact, I would like to advise all Ugandans who can read English or who understand English to purchase this paper. It is Saturday New Vision.
Yeah.
It is a must paper for all of you.
That's right.
I'm not campaigning for New Vision to sell copies.
We're not employees there.
But there's a lot of stuff here.
Right.
I haven't even read it, but my eye is just...
Maybe give them the page.
The page is what? Page 6.
Page 6.
My eye is moving very fast left and right, and I'm seeing something very, very important and key. They say, although some cases of diabetes, hypertension, whatever, obesity are hereditary, it is noted that if the major risk factors for NCDs were eliminated, around 75% of heart diseases, stroke, and type 2 diabetes would be prevented, and 40% of cancer would be prevented. That's a huge number by this estimate. So, I think we have been on the right course. We have spent a lot of years talking about these issues on Radio Maria, and I do hope that those of you who are listening to us will follow suit and buy the paper first and foremost, and study it carefully and appreciate what is being talked about here. Yeah. Right. So let's move on. In fact, then, after you called me, I began to think of what we should talk about today, and I identified the need for us to discuss some of the common misconceptions. We have common misconceptions out there by our populations in Uganda, indeed in the whole world, but particularly so in the third world countries, where knowledge, education is not penetrative enough. So the first one identified as being a misconception is the issue of the PVC we talk about. PVC is protein, vegetable, and carbohydrate. That's right. And stroke is fruit. We have emphasized the need for us to eat healthy, and one way to eat healthy is to combine these foods together. When you have breakfast, lunch, or supper, you should aim at having a protein, a vegetable, and a carbohydrate, and perhaps a fruit. Some of you now think that, what you can do, well, let me first of all eat my matoke. Then when I have settled down a bit after 1 hour or 2 hours, then I can eat my vegetable. And then after some time again, I can eat my protein. No, we should eat in a natural way. We normally eat, all our tribes in Uganda here eat that way. First of all, identify the items you want to eat that morning, but ensure as you cook them or you prepare them that they comprise PVC. And these 3 items should be eaten together. That's right, Why is that so? It is so because we need to minimize the sharp rises, rises of sugar in our blood when we eat only carbohydrates. When we eat only matoke, or we eat only rice, we eat only millet. If we eat only millet, if you give a person a cup of rice alone and you monitor the blood sugar rise in the blood, you will notice that the rise of sugar will be quite high within the first 1 hour. Give the same amount of rice in the cup to the same person, together with 2 spoons of vegetable, or just green leaves or whatever of any type, cabbage and lettuce or whatever, plus a fillet of fish. Give those 3 together, and again you remonitor the blood sugar level. You will find that this time round you get a very smooth curve of your sugar. To an extent that by 1 hour, the sugar should not have gone, the sugar from the rice should not have gone beyond 140 and 50. If at all, it may go to around 150 or 140 there. By 2 hours, it should have come down to below 140. You might even wonder why we talk to you about this all the time. It is because it is that rise of sugar in the blood which damages our body.
Absolutely.
If you ate a heavy meal and your sugar level rose above 200 every day, every meal, you are in danger of getting problems, complications of diabetes.
That's right, yeah.
So in summary, I'm saying eat your meal, PVC, the 3 items together. What, however, we advocate is that you can eat your fruit either half an hour or before or half an hour after. That's very clear, and I'm sure you're going to emphasize that again in Luganda because this is your subject actually. Right. Now, the other misconception we have amongst our populations is that diabetes is a separate disease. When you come with nerve damage, that is a massage, let's say, in the feet, that's another disease altogether. Or when you come with difficulty in getting your family harmonized, the commitments of marital life, that's another disease. No, this is a continuum of the same disease. You have this massage, let's say, you fail in your performance, all because of the fact that you have got this animal called diabetes or cholesterol or obesity. These things operate together to produce one another and also to cause complications. So what you get as a massage, say, difficulty in performance is really a direct result of the poor levels of cholesterol, poor levels of sugar in your body. So don't segment. When a doctor tries to put to you that diabetes has caused this, don't argue with him. You want to say, no, this one was poison. This one I stepped on something funny. No, it is the same disease.
That's right.
Those things you're talking about now, the blindness, the neuropathy, sexual weakness, all those are complications of your sugar.
In other words, Professor, you're saying
that
one thing, DM, results to all the things.
Yes, that's right. DM must be respected.
Yes.
DM is diabetes mellitus. So don't segment things and believe that you need to see one doctor for your neuropathy, another doctor for sexual impotence, another doctor for the sugar. No. The next thing you're going to know is the issue of exercise. When we talk about exercise, we are not talking about you having a nice football field somewhere or a tracker field where you go and run up and down every day for 20 minutes. No. Exercise should be embraced in your day-to-day activities.
Right.
Whatever you do in your house, out in the field, should be oriented towards giving you some element of exertion, physical exertion. This may be in the gym, this may be on a track, even in your own house. You can actually dance in your own house. You can dance with your children. You can dance with your partner. You may even dance alone, you know. Today's appliances for music are everywhere. And even in your ordinary work, when you're pounding millet, pounding groundnuts, that is exercise.
That's right.
It should be treated with respect. The work you do should be treated with respect, because that is how God has made us to live long, you know, by working. If you take two people, one just sits from morning up to evening, but eats normally, or the same food as the person who works. Another one works, does all the housework and so forth. I cannot forget my mother when she was still young. She did all course of work in the house.
Right.
She would go for water in the morning for all of us to bathe, and Matthew she has got to walk almost half a mile away to look for water. Then in the afternoon she goes to look for firewood. Somewhere in between she prepares meals, and then in the afternoon again she has got to thrash millet. We children just looked on, and this woman is still alive. She's 90. She has not fallen sick so often. Her illness is really old age. Isn't that wonderful?
That's wonderful.
Many guys, chiefs I used to know, would just sit on a mama koye, waiting for tea.
They're all dead.
They're all dead. I even forgotten some of them.
We have 4 patients on the world. We have 4 90-year-old plus 4 patients on the world.
He used to work hard. He used to work hard, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So this exercise you do, the work you do in your home is not a curse.
That's right.
Don't begin to wish, I wish I was so and so.
It's not a punishment.
It's not a punishment. It's
Yes.
God-given.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anything that's God-given. God never said that you go and drive cars all over the place.
No.
With sweat shall you eat. And that announcement was full of blessing of God.
And when he made man, he placed him in the Garden of Eden.
But precisely.
And told him, take care of it.
Precisely.
So many man had to work,
Yes.
garden,
So whatever work you are doing in the house is a blessing.
That's right.
Right. That's one. Then secondly, do not also overexert yourself to an extent that you break down. Do things that are feasible.
One person died in a gym.
Many have died in the gym. They have heard about what you're talking about here.
That's right.
Then they go and overexert themselves.
Yeah.
And in the process of doing that, they get heart attack. First of all, know yourself before you go to a gym. What are you? What are your arteries like? If need be, if you have got a bit of pressure, do not rush to a gym just to treat your hypertension by exercise without consulting your physician. Because this is the beginning of caution. You might be already having blocked arteries. These arteries, when we say blocked, we don't mean totally blocked. Could be partially blocked. But when you begin to exert so much, there will be some spasm of some of these arteries, which will further compromise the lumen, the opening, and can cause you now to get a proper heart attack. Besides that, your heart may be receiving enough blood through those blocked arteries when you are at rest. But the moment you begin to exercise, the brain automatically will discharge impulses to the heart to tell the heart to beat faster, to tell the heart to beat in a stronger way, and that can cause a lot of problem. This poor heart is already weakened, the coronary arteries are already compromised. When now you start to do so much extra work, you just collapse and die. Most heart attacks have occurred during exertion. And by the way, let me be sure to tell you this, that sometimes they occur at night. Do you know why? Because we begin sexual play at night without taking precaution of our heart status. Then secondly, so do exercise which is within your tolerance, which is feasible within your tolerance, and to get your tolerance, you may have to do an ECG before you start exercise. Allow your doctor to come in somewhere to advise you. And having begun identify the kind of things you need to do, you need to be sustainable. You need to sustain those exercises. Don't do it for 1 week, half a week, and then you give up, then wait another 2 weeks or 1 month, then again you do it. It must be on a daily basis. And lastly, I would like to say on this issue that you can actually add value to your exercise, rather than just running up and down. Those of you who are Catholics, you can walk around with your rosary, so that you not only walk, but also you can pray a rosary. That way you save time, you economize. All right. So let me just leave that for time being there and ask you to say a few words. Add on to that. This is your subject.
That's right.
And by the way, when you are eating, anything that you eat becomes a food value, a food item.
Absolutely.
Many of you could have the idea that eating means lunch, breakfast, and supper. When you take a snack, chips, whatever, a biscuit in between
That's a
there,
meal.
that's not eating. That's dangerous. Very often those chips are eating
and they don't count it.
They should be counted. Those are calories, and often more dangerous calories than even those
the
ones.
actual meal.
Right.
That's
so
right.
you continue from there.
Yeah, well, Professor, I think this is very, very important myth and common misconceptions about diet have quite many. And there's one here, milk is not, some people think milk is bad.
It's bad?
It's bad.
Milk is a very good food.
I've heard some doctors on media discourage people from taking milk.
They actually ban.
And they claim that milk is meant for
infants.
Infants, not even babies, infants. And maybe cats.
Puppies.
Puppies. And that is a very wrong misconception.
You need the milk.
You need the milk. Actually, milk is I think it's the cheapest source of calcium.
How much do you drink a day, milk?
About half a liter.
Half a liter?
Yes.
Yeah, I take my tea with milk.
Certainly.
And if I have enough milk in the house, I can also have evening tea with milk.
Yes.
Yes, why not?
Yes. So milk is the cheapest source of calcium. The cheapest and readily available. And as somebody grows older, they tend to lose a lot of calcium, especially for women after menopause. The calcium gets down. And Professor, I think if you did a survey among us women after 50 years, you'll be shocked that the biggest percentage has low calcium levels. You get it? And that explains why sometimes they easily break down or develop osteomalacia and can have fractures,
That's right.
Yeah. So, and the reason is because they have been discouraged from taking milk. They're not taking milk, yet they cannot get it from other foods because other foods are very expensive. So it's important to take milk. You shouldn't stop milk at any stage in life. Right. Whether you're a baby or growing up, a teenager or old, milk should be taken at all times. The most important thing is modifying it. Yeah.
You tell them also the value of milk, the body as a whole.
Yeah, milk is a protein food. Protein, milk carries quite, remember it's a protein food, but it's also an animal product. So it has quite a lot. It has calcium, it has several minerals, it has vitamins, it has quite a lot. It has sugar, the calories it does. So milk is very, very, very important. You need the milk at all times. You need the milk. And stopping milk at any stage in life would be quite detrimental and suicidal.
That's right.
Suicidal. So milk is very key at any stage in life. Be a baby. Now, there are people who are lactose intolerant. People who are like, well, I don't take milk. When I take it, I vomit or I diarrhea or I react to it negatively. Now, if you're such a person, still would find a way of how you can get milk in another form. You see? We can exclude the lactose, maybe give you yogurt and stuff. So in other words, that's how important milk it is. Even if you react to it, don't totally eliminate it. Find a way, talk to a doctor to help you get a modified kind of milk that will not, make you react.
You're talking about somebody who is milk intolerant.
Absolutely.
And that's because they don't often take milk.
Yes.
When they resume taking milk, they will have lost the lactase activity in the intestine.
Yes.
And for that matter, therefore, they have to develop that lactase activity. Lactose is an enzyme that breaks lactase, sugar into simple milk sugar. Milk protein into simpler substances.
Absolutely.
If you lack the lactase, you end up with intolerance. But if you take milk in smaller amounts, you can rebuild that lactase activity. But in the meantime, as you have just said, you can take yogurt. And yogurt is very important also. It contains some bacteria.
It's a probiotic.
Very good. You want to say what about that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, continue.
Yeah, what Professor is saying that our yogurt is important. It's a probiotic. It contains the bacteria. We have
what
to
is probiotic?
A prebiotic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pre or pro. That's
they are both good bacteria and bad bacteria. But the bacteria there in yogurt is a good bacteria, which helps in digestion and helps in breaking down of food and so many things, Yes, so I think...
what we were saying is that in our bodies there are bacteria. And these bacteria are put there by God.
That's right.
There are good bacteria, there are bad bacteria. Now, the biggest site of bacteria in our bodies is in the intestine. The whole of the intestine is full of bacteria, but particularly so in the colon. Now, if you get conditions which may limit the rate at which we clear toxins from this bacteria, like kidney failure, for instance, we may end up accumulating some substances, particularly a substance called creatinine, a substance called like urea. Now, these substances are a mass byproduct of digestion. They are often washed upwards, they are absorbed and taken to the liver, which detoxifies them, and then the kidneys will what? Excrete them. But if either the kidney function or the liver function is damaged or compromised, which can be a result of diabetes again, or a result of hypertension, or a result of, we've discussed this some time ago, that many of the kidney diseases we have in Uganda or in the whole world, in fact, are a result of hypertension, diabetes, and the like. If the kidneys are compromised, you are unable now to handle these toxic substances, which you put into your stomach and intestine as a result of eating, whereby the bacteria in the gut will convert them into them. But by having good bacteria, this good bacteria will eat up these toxins and help you to reduce their quantity, while at the same time producing other useful substances for our bodies. So this concept of probiotics is new in our countries, but it's a very, very old concept.
People have been using it
by our elders, our ancestors, without knowledge as to why it was being done. You see?
Yes.
But now we realize afterwards by studying what yogurt is, and what you are saying therefore is that it's a good food.
Good food.
And
Professor, I also usually prescribe probiotics for people who've had sustained stroke.
Yes.
Yeah. Why? Because it's half digested. It's hydrolyzed food.
Very good.
And stroke people, the system is compromised.
Yes.
The peristaltic movement of food is compromised.
Right.
So the digestion, they may have often indigestion and malabsorption. So I usually prescribe yogurt because yogurt is already half digested, so they usually don't find problems with it.
This is very clever. Very, very clever indeed. And as a matter of fact, we should one day hold some sessions on this probiotics.
Yes.
I have a patient in the ward. I had a patient in the ward in a Castle Hospital. He came, but I think we discussed him. He had 3 conditions. He had gout, he had hypertension, he had diabetes, and all these 3 conditions connived behind his knowledge to destroy his kidney. So he comes to us with a high level of creatinine, and really he was declared for either gone case or for dialysis, which is done twice weekly. He couldn't afford it from Aroa. It's a true case actually, or to go for transplantation. The bad thing is that he could not afford it.
He didn't afford any of them.
Indeed, even his stay with us was sustained by his relatives. Now, that kind of scenario is very, very, very delicate.
That's right.
So we thought about the Kudo Forte. They could afford it actually. They bought for 1 month. Very expensive though. It is 400,000 shillings. Can you believe that? But I saw him and he came back walking. The urea has gone down. The creatinine has gone. I'm not here to advertise that drug, but I'm just here to emphasize the usefulness of these probiotics. Not all of you can afford it, but you have heard about yogurt. Perhaps don't wait for the kidneys to get damaged and then you come and practice now to eat it. Actually, it's not very expensive actually. Yeah, and I think I better begin eating yogurt. Now, the other thing about milk, of course, if I say it before I forget, is that people fear cholesterol very much. And I think we were to blame for causing people to fear cholesterol. But at the end of the day, cholesterol is not bad after all.
No, it's not.
It's not. In fact, it has been shown that people with a very low cholesterol are at risk for many conditions. They are at risk of getting intracerebral hemorrhage. I don't know why that happens, why they're at risk for that. But imagine bleeding in the brain, because I suppose it's because the blood vessels become so thin that they are easily ruptured.
There's no cover.
They are at a risk of forgetfulness, poor memory. They are at a risk of getting depression. So there are advantages in having some cholesterol.
That's right.
What we are saying is, do not allow your LDL to go above 90. Most of us have an LDL between 70 and 100. We try as much as possible to lower it below 90 by using drugs, because the lower the better. But again, if you go to extremes, you can be in danger of getting those other more serious complications. Right.
Yeah.
Could you continue?
And there's this misconception I've always had, Professor, of connection between blood group and nutrition.
Yeah.
It's becoming so popular. No, not becoming. It's already popular, you know. Very, very famous. And I believe, Professor, you receive patients who have told you that they're not eating a certain food because their blood group is AZ or something, you know, and I believe you.
But it doesn't worry me very much, because it's not feasible. There's no home in Uganda which is going to sit back and have a conference and say, because you're group A, B, you're group A, this assignment, this gunner is for you, and this one is for you. It is impossible. And I don't think that God made a mistake in making us to eat in groups. You go to these Islam countries, they share their food together. You know, they're going to say this section of the dish is for group A. The other one, can it work? So much as they are shouting there, they will steal money from a few people. But there's no way they will influence the eating pattern of a normal person. Okay?
And there is this person in the village, they even don't know what blood group is. They don't, and they've lived up to 90 years, you know.
It's very expensive. And the problem is, these guys are the ones who do the job themselves. Absolutely. They first of all examine your hair. Yes. They take the measurement of between your two eyes, the separation of the two eyes, and then they take your height and whatnot. They do their blood group, and then they get their formula. They run to their own store.
Pick food.
To pick the food for you.
The items. And then you part with 500,000 for a single visit.
Common sense. Will know that is being stolen. So that's not worry me very much. So continue with Luganda also.
All right. Yes, abatuuze abalungi twende twogera ku misconceptions oba ebintu ebitali bituufu abantu bebadde boogera ku byokulya. Of course, Professor Nyonyole n'agamba abantu bangi nnyo aboogera ku byokulya okugeza nga biki bye balina okulya. Kati ng'omuntu yandibadde alya balanced diet, naye ate abantu abamu kye bakola amanya n'agamba nti maybe breakfast njali ebijanjala, ate lunch ndi akawunga, ebintu bwebityo. Naye nga ideally okulya one sitting, okulya kwandibadde nga bintu bino obirya mulundi gumu. In other words, obirya mu sitting emu nga wootudde. Conception endala oba misconception endala abantu gye babadde boogerako ya kwegamba ebintu ebifaananyizaako sukaali oba complication ezalireetebwa sukaali. Kugamba omuntu najja w'omusawo nga ekizibu kyazze nakyo alina sukaali, n'agamba nina sukaali, ate n'agenda wala n'agamba sikyalaba bulungi, amaaso gaziba, wala n'agenda n'agamba nsanyala saidi zeno. Kyokka nga ebyo byonna bireetebwa kintu kimu sukaali. Eyo misconception nayo nene nnyo. Misconception endala gye twogeddeko ya exercise. Professor Nyonyole n'agamba nti exercise ekintu kyonna ky'okola awaka, kulima, okufumba, kukola ki, ebyo byonna bintu exercise. Exercise tekitegeeza genda mu gyimu oba kubeera na kisawo waka oba kukubeera footballer oba kugula ggaali, buno bugaali obw'omunda obutatambula kyeko kasota tekava mu kifo oba graduate treadmills. Exercise kitegeeza nti buli activity yonna gy'okola awaka nayo nungi. Baliwo abasomesa bagamba nti okola exercise n'ogenda mu gym, n'ogenda mu kifo kwegamba nga waliwo omusawo akuyamba kola what. No. Exercise osobola gikolera awaka. Misconception endala is abantu gye badde bakola kukola exercise esukkiridde kwegamba muli nakola exercise kumpi sinakindi nakutukira ne muki gyaba agenze mu gym naye ng'osobola okukola exercise entonotono teweetaaga kukola exercise ki y'amaanyi ennyo misconception endala oba obukyamu obulala abantu bwe basinga okutwala nti butuufu ng'ate bukyamu ge mata twagambye netugamba nti amata geetaagisibwa buli stage yonna kuviira ddala ku mwana nga akazaalibwa paka ku mukadde asembayo teri stage yonna gye weetaaga ki kuva ku mata tugambye nti amata galimu ebiriisa bingi naye ko ekiriisa ekimu eky'amaanyi ekiriisa kye bayita calcium ekiyamba okuzimba amannyo okuzimba amagumba n'okuzimba ebintu ebitundu ebirala mu mubiri kati calcium ono woba nga tukozesa amata ate twagambye nti amata galina ekiriisa kino ate njuka nti amata gegamu ku mmere esobola okufunika amangu okugamba eri available esobola okufunika ate ya sente entono ng'ate erimu ekiriisa ebiri emmere endala erinza obbamu ekiriisa eno eyinza obutafunika mangu okugeza ng'ennyama byennyanja babiseera okusinga ki amata so okuva ku mata si kyaki tekiba kirungi nnyo weewaawo waliwo abantu abagamba nti weze wenywa amata gankola bubi olubuto olunuma biki gye tuyise lactose intolerant abantu bano still basobola okufuna engeri gye banywamu amata okugeza bayinza okukozesa yogurt oba okufuna ku kintu ekifeefenanyizako amata naye nga necessary tebakawoza eki tebagavuddeeko so ekintu ekyokuva ku mata si kirungi si kirambuufu so tubeere nga tunywa ku mata malungi malungi so ebyo betwabadde twakawogerako kati Professor, I mean, another misconception people this one I forgot. One misconception and nerabide yeno eya ubana abasomesa nti okulya wote olina okubeera ne blood group weight okulya wote olina okubeera ne blood group weight ekituufu kiri nti bannange sincerely ekintu ekyo kiramu kwegamba tekivaayo bulungi tekikola ki tekivaayo bulungi kyabeeyi nnyo okubeera kubanga kituufu nti abantu muyinza obeera abantu 10 awaka naye nga teri afaananya blood group na munne oli alina A oli alina AB oli alina O kwegamba zaawukana oli alina negative ebintu ebyo kwegamba so ogamba nti oliwo otyo ogenda olaba nga kijja kumenya nnyo so ekyo nakyo si kirangufu bulungi. Yes.
Very good. So, Mwami Kato, are you there?
Yes, Prophet.
You want to add something to what we're talking about? These are common.
No, that is enough.
These are common things we normally encounter in our day-to-day life.
Exactly.
So, can you ask them now to ask a few questions? Yes. How are you?
Fine. I am hypertensive. Is it advisable to take milk as you advise?
Yes, I was just saying now, we are not saying that you should drink tons and gallons of milk. A bit of milk is good for you. There is no rule which says that those with hypertension should not drink milk.
That's right.
If you look at the populations of the world, you will find that up to 25-30% of people are already hypertensive. And yet, more than 80% of us drink milk. There is no contraindication whatsoever to take some milk. Please don't drink a glass of milk in the morning, again at lunch and supper. Rationalize your drinking of milk. Take at least a glass of milk a day. Or you may take half, doesn't matter, so long as you provide yourself with something that can give you the food values which my brother Kasanko has told you about, particularly calcium. We have been told that women, for instance, need calcium very much indeed. Their capacity to make vitamin D is limited. They overdress themselves, they cover their skin, which is meant to what? To do the manufacturing of vitamin D from the sunlight. But if you dress your wife in a garment from morning and after evening, she stays indoors all the time. She doesn't expose herself to sunshine. After all, the sun is too hot for her. You know, this kind of indoor lives.
It will make her dark.
It will make her dark. The fear will become dark.
They put sunscreen.
So slowly you find that poor woman is going to fall down somewhere and fractures her bones.
They even put sunscreen.
Sunscreen, that's right. Break her bones very easily. Moreover, the levels of of estrogens have gone down. Women in particular above the age of 50 are prone to a lot of problems. In Uganda today, look at the teeth. When you see photographs taken of these people in Kavuyos by the police and whatnot, nearly 80% of Ugandans don't have good teeth. Either one tooth, two teeth, three teeth are missing because of the fact that they have got low levels of calcium. God gave you milk to make you healthy. Don't abuse it by taking too much, but indeed take some milk. Yes? Another question? In Luganda. Tell them.
Yes, Professor agamba nti amata agamba, of course tonywa gundi bakuli gundi bucket z'amata. Nawe badde agamba nti nywako amata onyonzo nywako olumu n'agamba nannywa yagamba nti naddala abakyala bafuna nnyo obuzibu lwa nsonga nti tebasobola kumanufacture vitamin D lwa nsonga nti beebikkirira nnyo beeteekako ebizigo ebiziiza omusana okubookya ate nga jjukira nti omusana gwe gusobola okuyamba skin okukola ki vitamin D oyo naye nga amata kituufu kino tetusigaye nga tunywa amata naye tetuganywa mu bungi bwago lwa nsonga nti gayamba mu calcium okukola calcium oyo. Yes.
And you might wonder how calcium is related to milk and whatnot.
Yeah.
Calcium is a very, very important iron. In fact, the biggest iron in our body is calcium.
Yeah, absolutely.
All the bones are calcium. But that calcium is obtained from our food. But you cannot absorb calcium with ease unless you have vitamin D.
That's right.
You say? And secondly, vitamin D also prevents you from losing that calcium. What's happening? Can you help me? Oh. Anyway, that's now physiology. We shall not go into detail there. Are you okay there?
Yes, Professor.
Are you all right?
Yes, Professor.
Okay. So another question?
Hello?
Hello.
Good morning, Professor.
Yes.
Thank you so much for the time and the service that you render us on Radio Maria.
Thank you, sir.
And above all, we have to thank God because you cannot easily find one like you.
Thanks.
Now, Professor.
Yes, sir.
I wanted to know, actually very many people want to know if you have an attachment with one of the big hospitals in Uganda so that we can find you there. Very many people like to see you face to face. They and then they present their cases.
The danger I have there is what you might call self-advertisement. And in our profession, we don't do that kind of thing. I have offered this service really because I am serving God and humanity. Now for me to say I work here and there, come and see, it is very dangerous. In fact, before I came here, there was a lady who used to come here and she used to advertise her herbs and whatnot have we. She would pay us some money to Radio Maria. But that kind of thing, Radio Maria does not want it. So you have my telephone number somewhere, just give me a call and we'll have a private chat. In any case, in our profession, we don't allow us to say I work here, I work there. Advertisement is not allowed by the Hippocratic oath. But at least now you know my number. You can get it from Mr. Kato. You can give him the number privately, Kato, so that we avoid breaking the laws of our profession.
Okay.
Let's have one more question, please.
Okay, Prof.
But my receiver is not good. Are you okay? Are you okay there with yours?
Yeah, this side is okay.
Okay, continue then. Ask questions and then
Hello,
you will
Professor.
translate for me. Can you hear?
Hello, caller.
You listen. You
Hello.
listen.
Yes, please.
Hello, good morning, Professor.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm diabetic, and for the last 3 months now, every morning when I wake up, I feel a lot of pain on my leg. I wonder what could be causing that.
She's diabetic.
Yeah.
She's been receiving pain in her leg.
Yes.
And she wonders what would be causing that.
Actually, in the morning when I was thinking of what to do or to talk about, I was thinking about that. I was thinking about coming here to talk about some of the most notorious diabetic complications. In fact, part of the topic was conceived from out of that. Some of you come and say, I've got diabetes, that's one. Then two, I've got pain in the leg, that's two. Then the third one, I've got the other one, diarrhea. You see, diabetes is a very funny disease. It can be responsible for all those things. It can be responsible for many things, beginning from the head down to the toes, because of the simple fact that you are dealing with a metabolic disease whereby sugar primarily is one of the biggest causes of problem. This sugar is needed by every cell of the body, but if it exceeds a given God-given level of 160 mg per deciliter, about 9 millimoles, it now begins to deposit into your body tissues and makes them rusty, rigid, non-functional, and damages some of the nerves. Most of the pain in diabetes is because of nerve damage. And nerves in our bodies are very, very sensitive to sugar. Once sugar gets deposited on the nerve sheaths, the sheaths are destroyed, and that sheath normally protects you from having your nerves touched by anything chemical or structural. The moment your nerve is exposed, the sheath is destroyed. What's the sheath? The sheath is that covering of the nerves. You are in for a lot of pain. Sheaths of our nerves or other tissues in the body are very sensitive to the effect of sugar elevation. That's why you always hear us saying, please measure your sugar. Try to ensure that it does not go. At least if you can keep it below 180, that's good enough. And 180 is a lot of sugar. Mark you, it won't appear in the urine. Those of you who pass a lot of urine, go to toilet or at night, wake up at night 5 times. You do so because your sugar level has gone above 180. So therefore, there are many people who are below 180 who have diabetes, but they don't know, because they have not yet gone to the level of polyuria. So that polyuria or passing much urine is actually a warning sign, but it is too late. It is too late. So the solution is what? Keep on measuring your sugar level. Don't do it every day. Get a good average meal once a week, exactly 1 hour, 2 hours after eating. Measure your sugar. Many of you now know to test sugar level in the morning hours, which is good. But the morning sugar level is also misleading, because often it's low at that time. It's below 7 millimoles, which is how much? 126. So if it's below that, you now say, I'm okay. No, it's not that. You also have got to find some extra money and do at least once or twice a week.
HbA1c.
No, not HbA1c, but the sugar level 2 hours after a meal. But certainly, if you can do hemoglobin A1c once a month, or twice every 2 months, or even once every 2 months, you are in a better position to manage your sugar better. Just say a word about that in Uganda, please.
Anyabo Professor Shabadde agamba nti esukali mu kyamu nnyo lwa nsonga nti esukali wabanga ta controllingibwa bulungi obanga it's not well managed, so okuvaako omuntu obungi kino kye twayise neuropathy, whereby sukali atandika depositing bwamuki mu nerves ezimu kwegamba nezitandika ofuna obuzibu okusanyalala, notandika waliwo n'abantu nasanyalira ddala ne baluzinga n'ebigere ne bamutemako ekigere, amputation lwa nsonga nti sukali ono yakoze eki yabakizi, naye nga ekisinga obukulu kugezaako okulaba nti sukali ono alibeera controlled very well. Of course ng'omupima okupima omanya sukali afaanana atya, mupime mu managing bulungi nnyo era bw'obanga ofunemu obuzibu so okujja n'olaba professor, of course n'omulaba nakuyamba okukola ki.
Okay, I think my brother Kato, why don't we now stop there, because we have other things to do. We would like to thank you very much indeed for putting us up in the air, and we would like to thank Radio Maria very much for giving us the opportunity to talk with people of the whole world, in fact, but in particular those of Uganda. Let me also add my voice here.
That's right, yeah.
Yes, and to add my word here about the need to fund our Radio Maria. I'm just a by the way issue. Ours is a by the way issue.
That's right.
The main issue really is that we sustain our radio for the sake of our spiritual growth.
That's right.
There is no other radio you can listen from morning up to morning without getting scandalized other than Radio Maria.
That's right.
It has been a savior for, but it cannot stand on its own.
That's right.
So those of us who can afford, please donate generously.
Absolutely.
Can you say last prayer?
Our Father, in the name of Jesus, we thank you very much for this program that has been on. Thank you for whoever listening and those who were about call, those who were given, and those who are still sick, Lord. We pray that you heal them and pray that you give them the right medical care and the right doctors to work on them effectively. In Jesus' name.
Amen.
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 Thank you. Well done.
Thank you very much, Professor and Doctor, for giving your time. Yeah.